At this time, I'd like to call to order the 8 January 2024 Jackson County Commission meeting. I'd like to welcome everybody and thank you for being here tonight. We have a number of items of new business that we have discussed previously in work sessions, and we have a relatively short, I believe, work session for tonight. So at this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Manning, the county administrator, please call the roll to establish quorum.
District 1, Mr. Gully.
Present.
District 2, Mr. Kimmer.
Present.
District 3, Mr. Buckner.
Present.
District 4, Mr. McBride.
Present.
We do have a quorum, thanks much. I'd like to now to ask everyone please stand, and I'd like to ask Mr. Porter, our county attorney, to lead us in our invocation, and Commissioner Buckner to please lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Our Father that is in heaven, God, we're so thankful. We come to you tonight giving thanks for all the blessings you've given us individually and especially as a county. God, we're so thankful for this county we live in, for this country that we live in. We offer a special prayer tonight for those that have chosen to serve the public as their means of employment. We're so thankful for the public servants that serve us each and every day, that take care of our needs, whether it be in the courthouse or the law enforcement, teachers, and other members of the education facilities. God, we're just thankful for all those that take care of us. We're pray you'll be with them and be with their families and bless them. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In your agenda or in the package, you do have the agenda for our January the 8th meeting. You see the items of new business and the discussion items we have in our work session for tonight. Do I have a motion to approve the 8 January 2024 Jackson County Commission meeting agenda?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. To have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any questions or discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. We, I guess, have a presentation of an award tonight. And so we'll make this also a portion of our public comments. So, sir, I'm going to ask you to please, we have a mic here. That if I could, I'd like you to just ask you a couple of questions just for the record.
Yes, sir.
State your name, please, sir.
Cody Brown,
And you are representing?
Jackson County Schools.
Thank you very much, sir. And at this time, we'll turn the floor over to you.
Well, I am the Special Ed and Health Services Supervisor for Jackson County Schools. I've been in that role since August. And we're here tonight to recognize you all's donation for Exceptional Olympics for Jackson County Schools back in the spring. I can say, you know, as a principal and a teacher, you know, and now in the supervisor role, Exceptional Olympics is the day in the world of special education for the public schools. There's nothing to, I guess, that equals that, you know, from the kids' standpoint, the parents' standpoint, administrators, teachers, everyone that's there gets to see a good day. You know, we've got, you know, high school students from all the county schools that are there as hug buddies. You know, our parents are there with their kids, seeing their kids be successful in things that they may not normally be successful in. And because of donations from folks like you, we're able to make that happen for them. So we certainly appreciate that. And so I have a plaque in recognition to all of you.
May I ask if the commissioners would like a comment regarding that before we do that, if you don't mind?
Sure.
Sure, we'd just like to say thank you for all you guys do there. It's a great program. My son was able to participate in that, and if you've never attended one of those functions, make a point to do so. It'll warm your heart, and if it doesn't, then there's a problem with your heart. You need to check that.
Right. Well, I'll be honest with you. You know, I've been on since August, so I've not experienced the Exceptional Olympics from the administrative side. I've been there as a principal and a teacher. So I'm excited for the spring. Our folks that put it together are here with me tonight. And so I'm excited to just see what it looks like on this side, because it's a huge day.
It sounds like you'll be a whole lot more busy, though, on the administrative side.
I think probably. I think so.
Being a former educator like those two,
Right.
and I have
Right.
special day every year.
Absolutely.
Special day.
Yeah, for me, there's
there's the absolute joy of the participants, the Olympians, but there's equal joy in the folks that volunteer to help. It is truly a blessing day, and so thank y'all for what you do. There's a restorative aspect to seeing that kind of joy and that kind of celebration the way it should be. And so thank y'all for all you do to make it happen, because it is more than just a day. It's an affirmation of doing the right things.
Yes, sir.
Well, I've never participated in Special Olympics or attended, but I've got my oldest son. He's helped with it several times, and I've got a neighbor that's participated in it. Just seeing the pictures of the smiles and my young son coming talking about it, and my neighbor talking about their day. It's a truly special event. Thank you for all you do.
Yes, sir.
Let me say thanks for being here tonight, and thanks for what all of you do. It truly is an amazing day.
Yes, sir.
And I know it means a lot to these guys to have the opportunity to support it. So
Right.
thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Yes,
you
sir.
want us somewhere?
We would like to take a picture.
Can we have all these guys get down there?
However,
Okay.
this is for,
You may take it, you get up there with him? You get up there? Yeah, you get up there with him. Get up there with him. I tell you what, get up there and stand on the bench behind them so you're taller than everybody.
Easy now,
Hey, Kobe, move over a little bit.
easy now.
I like you, Kobe, but if I can't be in it, you can't either. All right, here we go. I'm gonna take several, okay? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Got a thumbs up there from AJ. All right, look at them before y'all move. Look and make sure everybody's eyes open, all that good stuff. Can you work with that?
I think that works.
Listen, I did the best I could with them. Now, y'all were easy, but now those guys over there,
Silly person, silent.
that's kind of rough.
Jennifer's eyes.
What? Did we get another one? I took like 4. See, I got- Are they open? Or are they closed?
Close for everyone.
Coach, get back up there, Coach.
Let me say the fact.
Y'all get back up there. Coach had
Yes, we
his
gotta
eyes
try
closed.
one more.
Your eyes were closed.
Her eyes, trying to sleep.
She said,
Yep, eyes are closed.
Hey, make
Sorry,
it-
we gotta
Come
try
on,
it.
guys, get your eyes
we'll go
open.
back to where I'm supposed to be.
I'm sorry, guys.
probably ought to leave the stand.
I told you, see, I told you that's all I could do.
Let me get behind some.
Why are you behind?
She gonna prop his eyes open for him.
Don't put me in the front.
All right. Okay, is it, okay, let's see here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I took some and didn't take. Now look at that. Look at that. Don't make sure you can see everybody.
Check my eyes.
You know what? That his pupils look dilated. Rocky, would you check his eyes?
Oh,
for me?
I think we need a drug test, don't you? Thank you, gentlemen.
At least check him before he goes home, Rocky. We don't want him. We'll get you.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you. Thank you. See you guys.
You got it. Thank you.
Y'all take care. Take care.
This time, we'll move into the new business portion of the meeting agenda. Last meeting, we had a discussion about options for repairing the County Road 119 around the bridge that we have repaired this year. In your package, you have an email from County Engineer, Mr. Campbell, that lays out 3 options. I would propose we get a motion second, and a little discussion about the preferred option, and then proceed with a vote after that. So do I have a motion to approve repairs for County Road 119?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion, we have a second?
I'll second
We
that.
have a second. At this time for discussion, There were three options that were offered. One was for 55K that would pave from the railroad to County Road 30. The other was 50K could provide extra depth patch, approximately half of the road in the worst areas. And then the other option was 16K, paved just around the bridge approaches with contract forces, I call that the aprons around the bridges. So open for discussion.
The first question I would have is Mr. Campbell, of these options, what would be the timeline from today of getting approval that it could optimal be finished? Because, I mean, to me, timeliness is something I've got to consider on this.
So, in all the options presented, there would be a lot of factors that affect that. So, and all would apply to each one of those. We're obviously out of a time frame where chip sealing is an option. So as we look at temps, even with hot mix paving, and we consider Fortery and Rising, this time that we're in is not, does not allow that. So, and also another factor of that is the contractor schedule. So with hot mix paving and our annual big contractor that performs that work, we have them engaged in the bonding rebuild project. So the best answer I could give you on that is between or after bonding rebuild projects, weather permitting. So, and that's 40 and rising. So as we look ahead, next week is 20s and 40s. The week after that was 3 days of rain forecasted, and then 20s and 40s after that. So this month doesn't look good. If there's a warm up or something after that, potentially.
So spring, basically, is what you're saying?
Could be.
How long do those temperatures have to be maintained for?
So right now, with the binder layer that we are putting on County Road 58, they're getting about 3 hours a day of work time. So 40 and rising.
As long as it's applicated or put down while it's at temperature.
40 and rising.
Okay.
So for me, and I think for me, it's more about getting something done. County Road 19 is the bridge has been in bad repair for an extended amount of time, and we owe it to that community to get them a passable bridge. And so I guess my next question, Mr. Campbell, based on those criteria that you laid out there, what would be the quickest / best course of action for this road?
Well, if we consider overall finished product, option one for the 55K, that gets the entire section repaired. So not just the approaches, but the entire section. It does require some work on our part on the bad areas and the base failure repairs to be done by county forces. But as far as overall finished product for the dollar, I think that's a good option. If we want to minimize expense, then option three would be putting back what's disturbed now, and then we could make repair in a patch application on the other poor condition areas.
Is that going to be a chip seal, the 16, and then the first option being?
No, that is hot mix asphalt placed at those approaches. So
Okay.
it's patched. It's just a smaller section. It's just what's disturbed essentially.
Okay.
By patch, you meaning strip paving that we?
It would be HMA paver laid hot mix. So it would be paved at those approaches on what's disturbed, and then we would take a patching approach to the other areas that are poor.
Well, as far as for my desire, since this is in my district, I'm very much in favor of either the first or the last option, because I think either we take it from 35 to 30 and get it done, or we've got to at minimum finish the bridge at minimum. And so I think that the price between 1 and 2 is not enough to justify not paving the whole area. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Do we have a proposed option to go along with,
Any other comments on that?
yes?
Yeah, I feel, we certainly need to address this entire area, but for me, I think addressing the aprons now would be probably the wisest thing to do, and then come back and finish up. So I would be in favor of the third option.
The comment?
Would it be an option to, looking at the difference in 1 and 3, of course, option 1 is gonna get you the whole thing. If that's something that Commissioner Buckner wanted to do, and we've got our road selection coming up, if you wanted to do the whole thing, would you want to deduct some dollar amount from your local roads and do the whole thing and move forward as a project like that?
Certainly. I mean, this is not something that I want in addition to what's coming up. I would think that they would need to count it.
That would make those folks in that area very happy since they've been in this place for so long.
Hopefully.
In comment section later on, I'm going to propose that we need to have some work sessions, road planning work sessions in February. We got a couple, we got local road programs put together. We got a strip paving road program put together. We need to sit down, roll our sleeves up and do that. If we do that in February, that's ahead of the springtime you're talking about being able to do this, that we could take and do that approach then. So that could be either option 3 or the option 1, where it would be part of the local roads program to do that. Does that work?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I guess the motion is that we're going to do this, and we'll do the selected option in the local roads program when we have the work session. But we're going to proceed to repair County Road 119.
So just so I'm clear,
Go ahead.
the disturbed sections now, as soon as we can, we need to make that a
Yes.
priority to fix that.
That's
And then
called
we'll-
what I call the aprons.
Yes, sir.
of the bridge, yes.
And then we'll take up the remaining
The
portion
remaining
as we
in
look at those.
the work session.
Gotcha.
Okay. So that would be really option 3 here, and then solve the rest of it in our work.
So you want to move forward with option 3 tonight, and then when we address roads in February, we'll take up the rest of that. So we are moving forward with option 3.
I think that accomplishes the mission, which to me, it's getting the bridge back passable as fast as possible. So I'm very much fine with that. And just for clarity, since we would just be working with the approaches and the bridge, that's not something that would come out of my local allocation.
No, sir.
And we're going to, Mr. Chairman, are we going to pay that out of Fund 111?
Yes, the initial would use option 3
Yes,
as
sir.
stated. Let me offer, I think we may want to change the motion, and John, tell me if I'm right, because we're now selecting an option, and that option is to pave the bridge approaches. Change the wording of the motion to approve repairs for County Road 119 by paving the bridge approaches. Does that sound right?
And taking it from Fund 111?
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, so we do have a motion to amend the motion to include paving the bridge approaches in fund out of Fund 111. Okay, so we have that motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, thank you. Next, we were presented a floodplain ordinance at our last meeting. And this is something that I know that we do on some degree of a periodic basis, is to modify the floodplain ordinance. So do I have a motion to approve the proposed floodplain ordinance?
I make that
We
motion.
have a motion to have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? If none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. At our last meeting, we also talked about purchasing and installing a camping reservation system, a new system. Our director of parks requested some time to take a further look at options. So, Director Perea, if you'll come forward, please. And
So, yeah, since our last meeting, I went back and requested another demo from both of the software providers, Firefly and CampSpot. The more I played with the two, the more one of the two stood out as a front runner. And what I thought I'd be telling you was Firefly, it's actually CampSpot. It's going to come in at about $1 to $1.50 per reservation. Is cheaper to utilize this software. It was mentioned at last meeting requesting an app. This software does have app capabilities that they provide. No long-term contracts, 24-hour assistance, which both of them had all of those same features. This one, when you actually got in and started making reservations or pulling reports, things like that, it was a lot more user-friendly. I think at this time, this would be my recommendation, is the CampSpot software.
so just let me ask a question to make sure that the cost to the commission is a fee that's applied to the reservation.
Correct.
And it's a per reservation fee that gets passed on to the provider.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions, comments? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the purchase and installation of camping reservation system, CampSpot, at Jackson County Park?
I'll make that
We
motion.
have a motion to have a second.
I'll second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Also, at our last meeting, we had County Engineer Mr. Campbell provide us with the report of the FY 2023 County Rebuild Annual Report. We have to submit these every year at the conclusion of our annual, our county rebuild program. You have a sheet that shows that what we were able to accomplish, and that was 7.67 miles of rebuild work on county roads, 67, 33, 8, and 8. I don't have my glasses, excuse me, so I think I read those right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So do I have a motion to approve the FY 2023 County Rebuild Alabama Annual Report?
Make that motion.
We have a motion to have a second.
Yeah, I'll second that.
We have a second. Any question or discussion? Not all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Also, we have had a discussion over several meetings about a mortuary transportation service. We did get a bid from a contractor. We have reviewed that in work session. We have prepared a services contract, and the contract would be through the Jackson County Commission and between the Jackson County Commission and Matt Mortuary Transportation LLC. Mr. Jordan, any comment, please?
Yes, sir. I'm not much on contract, so I don't know about this. But one of my main concerns is, in this contract, it doesn't specify the time limits. That's the main concern in this whole transport service. The time limits has to be, the guy agreed he agreed with me that he would put someone in Jackson County. and that they would be able to respond to anywhere in Jackson County within 45 minutes.
Yep.
And they had to maintain that 95% of the time, or 90% of the time. And so that's very concerning to me that it should be in this contract, because we don't need somebody coming from another county to transport bodies. We have a situation now where we have to wait on them sometimes, long periods of time. So that's the only thing. The rest of the contract looks good to me. And I'm, like I said, now I'm not a contract writer. I don't know, but I would certainly would like for y'all to interject or to.
Let me ask, I thought the attached bid did have the time limit there.
Correct. The bid documents that I think you prepared
Yes, sir.
are attached to this.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and they will be incorporated into this document.
Okay. That sounds
So,
okay.
everything that was in the bid package is part of this agreement.
Okay, I didn't know that,
Yeah.
but, you know, I wanted to ask, okay. And I appreciate all the work y'all put into this, and can't wait to get it started.
Okay. Any other comment?
No, great question.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So with that, do I have a motion to approve and sign the contract for mortuary transport services with MAC Mortuary Transport LLC?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion, have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second. Any further questions or discussion? If not, all in favor say
What's the duration of this contract?
it's 12 months with option for renewal. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, to fund this, we will need to amend our budget for the transport service. We're estimating annual cost right now would be in the neighborhood of $30,000 to $36,000. We do have flexibility with our revenue to expenditure in our general fund, and we do have some room there for that. And so we would amend the budget, and we would amend the coroner's budget for this amount of money to cover the cost. And we will study some other funding options later. So with that, do I have a motion to approve the budget amendment for the Jackson County general fund budget for mortuary transport services?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion, have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, so the 30 to 36,000, is that for this half of year, or is that going to be for?
Yeah, we originally was calculating about 36,000, and then we thought, well, we're already 4 months into the year,
Right.
so we felt like 30 would probably be enough for this year, but, so that's where the thought process is.
So just in my head, we're looking at 36 annual as kind of our budget number. Okay, all right, that's good. So we're erring on the side of it.
Right, right, unless something unforeseen pops up, you know, this is new to us.
Oh, yeah. All right, very good.
Okay, any other questions?
You mentioned that they're replacing someone here in the county. Has that been done?
Do what, sir?
They're replacing someone here in the county?
I don't think they have put anybody in the county yet.
Okay.
And if I could, I don't think they will until we have a signed contract with them to do that. Okay, if there are no other questions, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. In previous discussion, we have talked about surplusing the mobile home that we have at North Sand Mountain Park. We delayed that until after the holiday season. If we can get a motion in a second, then I would like Director Perea to discuss about notification process on that. So do I have a motion to approve the surplus of the mobile home at North Sand Mountain Park?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion to have a second.
I'll second it.
We have a second. Any further questions? So Director Perea, if you would, just comment on notification.
So as per the agreement that was signed with the Lay family back in 2012, either party could terminate the agreement with 30-day notification. Working with Mr. Porter's office, we drafted a notification that will be hand-delivered once it's approved, giving the residents 30 days to vacate, sooner if possible. Once it's vacated, we will move forward with placing this mobile home on the government bid page.
Okay, any questions?
Does it have to be moved to be sold?
That will be part of the sale agreement, is that it will have to be moved from the park.
Any idea on the value of the home?
I don't have any of that yet.
But we're not gonna have to move, we're gonna vacate, sell it, and then the buyer.
The buyer will be responsible for moving. Yes.
Okay, any other questions or comments? If not, all in favor say aye. Motion carries, thank you. Every year that we have elections, we have to, just prior to an election, we have to go through the process of testing every voting machine that the county will put in our voting precincts. And each year, we have employed for years Mr. Mike Ashburn to do that testing of our voting machines. And so we do have a primary season coming up, I believe, in March. And so we need to have our voting machines tested before they are used in this primary election. So Mr. Ashburn has given us a quote for performing that function. The quote is $2,550, and I believe that's basically the same quote we have used year over year for the testing process. There is a quote in your packet from Mr. Ashburn. So do I have a motion to approve the quote from Mr. Mike Ashburn for voting as voting machine custodian?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion, to have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a second. Any questions or discussion? If not,
Mr. Nance, if I could say also, that also allows for the on-site work on election day. He'll do the testing, they'll do the delivering, and then he's available throughout the whole voting day if there's an issue with machines or something needs to be resolved. So it's also, that is also included in that too, please.
okay, good.
Is there any training taking place to help train other people to perhaps assist in this later down the road?
I would assume that Paul and Josh do help him. I know when I was the inmate director, I did it, and as Mike did, so I assume that they're doing that.
Any further questions? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. That concludes our new business portion of the agenda. We'll move now into the work session, and we only have 2 items of discussion. Today we had our 95% design review for the structural repairs to the county courthouse and the renovation of Liberty Lane. So, Kevin, if you don't mind, just give us a quick rundown on.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Chairman. As the Chairman said, today we had our 95% design review on the courthouse structural project and on the Liberty Lane renovation project, and everything is going according to plan. We did a page flip with departments today, received good feedback, good reports from everyone. Have done our best to incorporate everybody's comments and responses and wishes on their space into the space over at Liberty Lane. We are on track. We are adding, as part of the courthouse project, alternates to cover the renovation of several public restrooms. And so we are doing so. That's in progress, and the staff is working on it. When I left the office mid-morning this morning to come up here, and so that's ongoing, and we expect to have our 100% documents ready for a commission and joint review with the departments at the end of this month, at which time then we will present those, send those up here, let you review them. I'll come back up here if need be, if it's your request, and go over those with you, and then we'll proceed to put the projects out to bid. We are budget-wise still on budget, with Kaling really close to where we were at 65%. Courthouse is at 1.242 million, or 292, excuse me. Close to the 1.3 million mark, and then Liberty Lane is at 2.4. And so we anticipate through the management of alternates to have awardable projects on both of those. As we discussed earlier today, the market has been more favorable. The bidding market has been more favorable in the last 5 to 6 months. As I explained to Chairman today, we have another county's project similar to the Liberty Lane and Courthouse projects that have kind of a mixed scope like both of those do, that we're having a pre-bid on Thursday. It bids in a couple of weeks, so I should have a pretty good indicator of a similar size project, similar scope project of how the market's reacting here after the first of the year. As I explained earlier today too, we have seen lead times on several components of mechanical equipment and other equipment necessary to these projects. The lead times have reduced, in some cases really drastically. We've seen some other lead times either hold or get a little bit longer on some electrical switchgear cabinets and electrical panels. So we're keeping our eyes on those, but we've been able to mitigate some of those lead times with some alternative design methodology and going with some smaller panels and where the parts are more readily available, and just increasing, adding a panel instead of having, for example, two large panels, having 3 or 4 smaller panels. So we've been able to mitigate some of that, but everything's looking great, and we're looking forward to wrapping up and then getting this one out advertised to bid.
And the contract schedule for award of contract is projected by the end of February?
That's correct, by the end of February. And we'll be able to, as soon as we receive bids, we'll do a bid examination and then make recommendation to the commission on award based on the bid received.
Yeah, and if I could, real quick. Yes, the award has to be brought before, the approval for award has to be brought before the commission and
yes,
approved by the commission.
Yes, sir. And that's one of the things that we also will do when we assist you guys after post bid in developing the construction contract with the contractor, prepping that draft document for your review, council, and for the commissioner's review. And we also will, as part of that contract, attach the meeting minutes from the commission meeting where that funding is authorized and the contract is awarded. So that will be an exhibit to the contract. But we will absolutely do that, yes, sir.
Also, I'd like just a reminder that in the courthouse structural repair, the proposed cost is 1.292. 19. That will be funded by 2 sources of revenue. One is $800,000 that we have committed from the ARPA funds, and the state has approved $700,000 to support that. Our idea with the bathrooms was that if we go through this and the contract comes in at that projected cost, we then have a couple of $100,000 left over that we could repair some of the bathrooms in the courthouse with. And so that is an option for us to consider if we have room in the budget.
That is correct. Those restrooms will be set up as bid alternates so that you'll have a base bid where we identify the basis of the regular bid so that we have an awardable project, and then a la carte, for lack of a better term, the alternates. And we'll do those restrooms individually in alternates so that depending on the allowable budget, bid versus budget comparison, you guys will be able to examine that and award up to your available funds.
And that also will be approved, have to be approved by the commission.
Is this
Any questions?
Yeah. Is this something that when we go to bid that things will be subbed out so that potentially local contractors could be a part of the construction design process?
The projected contract amount for this project is such that it will take a good reputable general contractor to bid the project, and then they will solicit local participation from subcontractors as long as they have their licensure classification that's current and valid according to the scope of work. Absolutely.
And I know it's hard to get
It is.
this kind of, the general contracting job, but I'd love for our locals to be able to participate.
And we encourage that, and we have a representative in our office, and Ms. Renee Williams is an assistant of mine, and she is very adept at recruiting and getting the word out, and she will send out emails, make phone calls, not only to general contractors that are in this area, but also to subcontractors to make them aware that we have a public bid coming up, and we put it on our plan room site so it's visible, and then of course it'll be advertised on the county's website as well.
Thank you.
There's one other activity I'd like you to discuss is
Sure.
we need to proceed with an HVAC upgrade to our jail,
Yes, sir.
given the condition over there with that HVAC. And your scheduled plan for the HVAC is to have that ready to go to contract early summer?
Yes, early summer. We will have that ready. The date I have right now for you guys is to advertise for bid on or around June the 6th. If we can shorten that duration of production time, we absolutely will. I've projected out based on we had a huge first of the year scheduling meeting last week, lasted about 5 hours in our office, and put timelines to everything and dedicated resources. And we have a couple of slots that may adjust shorter that this one falls in with, and so if we can shorten the duration, we certainly will. But our projected bid advertisement date will be June 6th,
Okay.
with a bid in July.
This may be out of your scope, but typically with a HVAC upgrade, the efficiency goes up, so operating costs should, so it should help with, almost pay for itself and
That's right. The offset in energy costs, energy consumption costs on these upgrade projects is pretty significant, and especially the age that the equipment is in the jail right now. And I've been in there and seen it all, and it'll be a good cost savings for the county to invest the money in the upgrades.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? If not,
All right.
Mr. Bond, thank you very much.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it.
Always a pleasure to be here with you guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
With what we're doing there, I've asked the county administrator, Mr. Manning, to give us an update on the status of ARPA funds.
yes, sir.
I got one. As we look at this, remember the requirements under the ARPA program. We have to have all ARPA funds obligated by 31 December 2024, and all ARPA funds have to be expended by 31 December 2026.
This spreadsheet we've got for you guys just kind of summarizes all the different projects that are underway.
We quit doing that. 31
Some of
December.
the columns over toward the right is where I'm kind of tracking it year to date. We have to do quarterly reports to the ARPA, to Department of Justice, so that some of those are tracking numbers for me. But you can see each column where it's total committed, first column there, and then that shows you each project. And any questions on any of that? I'll do the best I can to answer that for you, but those are the numbers that we're looking at on all the projects at this time.
As we approach this, the one thing we did not want to do is overcommit, not understanding exactly where bid prices would be. So you see that the committed funds are about $9.4 million. That leaves a balance of $636,000. So the water project, TBD, is just money that we had. Remember, we had set aside some money to consider water. We've expended or committed and obligated other than that $220. And DeKalb Jackson Water, we did commit $200,000 to DeKalb Jackson Water Authority. But ADEM to this date has not approved that grant. And we are just candidly somewhat concerned at whether that will be approved by the end of this year. So, but anyhow, with that, unobligated and really uncommitted, we have about $420,000 in unobligated, considering taking those two out. $200,000 that would give us some margin on bid prices. Plus, this would give us margin on bid price as well. So really about $420,000 there. So any questions about ARPA? Last comment I will make, given that what we hear on the end of February, if those bid prices come in close to where we think they're projected to come in, we need to have some items on the table ready to allocate to other projects so that we make sure we spend every penny of what we obligate every penny of ARPA money by the end of this year. I don't think we want to be in a position of turning money back that we have. Bob, thanks. That concludes our work session. At this time, we will move to reports from the staff. County Administrator, anything?
Don't have anything else, thank you.
County Engineer?
Thank you, Chairman. I do have a couple of things I would like to share. So we're near the time for Rebuild Alabama Act annual grant, and this was a program, as you likely recall, in which County Road 19 was accepted last year. So what I have for your consideration are several projects for looking forward to potentially be in a position to make a selection, possibly my next meeting if your comfort level is there. And the road list that you have in front of you are all resurfacing projects with exception to one pavement preservation project that's proposed. So as you look at these projects that are listed, we've tried to list obviously a description for you, the road number, the length of the project, and ADT, the estimate amount, and the last paved year if it was available. So most of these projects, 15 and 18 for example, these are all hot mix investments made years and years ago, and a lot of these are in poor condition and we're really at a stage of reconstruction versus resurfacing. So this is the exact example of what we don't want to get to with our hot mix network. So we've presented these as opportunities to make correction here with grant dollars. And new this year, at just the ground rules, like a recap, essentially, it's a Rebuild Alabama grant is a $250,000 grant that requires no match. However, new this year is an extra $5 million to be spread across the state, which allows for an additional $100,000 grant availability per project on a 50-50 match. So if I did the math correct, we have a $350,000 project that will have to pay $50,000 as a match. So we're just north of 14% on a match percentage for that. So as you review the projects and consider those, we selected in terms of nearest that $350,000 price tag. Obviously, anything in excess of that, we would obviously have to pay 100% of, or overruns. So, I think I'll park it there and field any questions.
Yeah, question. What gives us the best chance to win the grant?
So there was a very robust package last year by Misty, and I think a lot of her work and the support letters, if you recall, there was even socioeconomic data submitted that we had, she had gathered and done a lot of work with other projects, incorporated that. So she really did a lot of groundwork in making a robust package, and we were successful in being selected. So it was a resurfacing project, so we've stayed in that lane. And it was a safety, there were safety-related investments made prior to that award. So I think they saw an opportunity to help us help ourselves, and we were working. But we feel like any of these projects are a good investment from a county perspective, and definitely helps our asset management spreadsheet on moving forward. But you know, a lot of these have gotten in a condition to where we're going to have to do something soon regardless, but just due to the condition that the roads are in. So it's an opportunity here, I think, to leverage some money if we can be selected.
Do you have a timeline when you need an answer to get the grant package submitted for maximum opportunity?
The deadline for submittal is February 2nd.
February
2nd.
2nd. Okay. So we need to get Misty and Darren working it pretty quick.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If a selection is made by the 22nd, then, you know, we'll get to work.
So can we put this, I would propose, work session for discussion and then move forward in that meeting with making a selection on the 22nd? Does that work, Jonathan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, we will do that. Thank you.
Thank you all. I have one more item,
Okay.
if I may. I'll just move through this quickly. The December auction, we had one article to be sold, which you all declared surplus. That was a 2023 T880 day cab tractor, near 9,000 miles. And I've listed on this sheet for you just a summary sheet of the purchase price, the price that it's sold for, less commission, and then the green is just an indicator of the difference. So I just wanted to provide those results. That was a December 5th auction, payment date of December 15th, and then our consignment settlement was received.
Is this something you didn't need to keep?
Yeah, we had received a new day cab tractor, and you guys had approved that, the old one to be surplus. I was just providing the results from that auction.
Great.
Okay, anything else? Any questions for Mr. Campbell?
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing this to us. At this time, we'll report from county attorney, anything?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other comments? Yes, sir.
Yeah, just real quick for the park, the new control access system is installed. Everything is online. We're currently working to backfit all the access codes and program key cards to get out to the customers.
Can I ask you?
Yes, please.
While we're with you, can you give us an update on docks?
Yeah, so work on docks is still going when we can. Pending vacations and everything that everybody just had through the holidays kind of put me really short-handed. In the next coming weeks, I hope to be finishing up another dock.
What about the bids?
And you put together a bid package?
Yep.
Go ahead, please.
I emailed that all in. I thought it was going to be on this meeting, but I guess it was.
Okay.
Well, we can't put bid package together, and we held off on that until we got more information on where we were with Liberty Lane and the courthouse.
Yeah.
We need to have that consideration. Okay.
Yeah, so once we know if we're going to have funds available, I mean, it's ready to go.
I would propose that we bring that forward. Let's say the first meeting in February. That way we've had a chance to review the package, and we'll then be ready for whenever we find out what funds we have available. Okay. I think there's a question also in the dock, some of them particularly by the boat ramp, if I'm correct. Is there any way that could be a floating dock?
I'm sure it can be. I'll have to ask the question.
Could we put that as an option in the bid package, that it would give us two prices, the fixed dock and the floating dock.
Okay.
Okay, but any other question about that? Anybody? Okay, so now we will move to comments from the commission. District 4, Commissioner McBride.
Yes, sir. I just want to say again how thankful we are for all our employees in Jackson County and the hard work that they do. I can't say enough about the group of men up here and the time they put in to try and make efforts to make our county better. I know the wheels turn slow sometimes, but I assure you that there's a lot you don't see, but we're trying to move us forward. And I think these guys are doing a great job. And just want to say thank you, guys.
Okay, District 3, Commissioner Butler.
Yeah, I want to echo that. Thank you, Commissioner McBride. It is a wonderful opportunity we have here, and it's wonderful seeing the progress that we're making. And it's not always evident, but there's really good things going forward. I do want to thank everyone that has suggested a road for us as commissioners and Public Works to review. Those have been shared with everybody, and the tour of those roads will begin, and that should never end. Anybody listening, watching this, if you've got a road that you think is in need of being strip patched, potholes filled, widened, whatever you think might make it more safe. Of course, obviously we can't do all of that, but we definitely need to consider where our work needs to be done. So thank you for all those that contributed. It was nice to see how quickly that question got populated, and I'd love for us to be able to pave all of them. But obviously, if you keep up with what we do, it's going to be fairly limited in scope. But hopefully we can be mindful of what we choose to do. So thank you for that.
Okay, thank you. District 2, Commissioner Kennemer.
I pray we all be safe tonight and tomorrow through the storms, and we have no reason for the coroner or the sheriffs. That's right.
District 1, Commissioner Gully.
Well, I'd like to start off by wishing everybody, I hope everyone had a happy new year. I'd like to thank our staff for everything that they do and all the hard work Sheriff's Department, other agencies put in for our county. And I'd like to ask everyone to keep former Commissioner Rich and his family in their prayers, as he lost his sister yesterday. She had a battle with brain cancer and lost the battle yesterday. So let's all keep them in our thoughts and prayers.
Okay, and thanks for all those comments. Just a couple of reminders from me. Tomorrow we will have a meeting at 1:30 at EDA with a contractor that we have selected to do the efficiency study. I do need Jonathan, need you there, and the park director there, and Sheriff's Office represented, and Council of Aging folks represented there. To hear from our consultant for that work. As I mentioned earlier, I think it's time that we do have some work sessions. I would plan to suggest we hold those in February. We do have a number of major activities to consider. We talked about, I would propose that in February we'll get with all the commissioners, see what are good days available, and then schedule those work sessions. I would propose that we hold those work sessions, since they're on roads, at our Public Works area, so that we all gather around the table there to do that work. Also, I will not be able to be here for the 22 January meeting. I will use the term our Vice Chairman, Commissioner Buckner will be in charge of that meeting, and so
I hope to do better than I did last time.
Amen.
Okay, and with that, again, everybody be safe over the next couple of days. We're going to have several days of rough weather, and so wish the best for everybody. Our next meeting is scheduled for the 22nd of January, 5 o'clock here. And so with that, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much.